So today we're going to be showing some of the new capabilities that have been added to the pLog configuration tool that were previously only available to users doing advanced configuration in an XML editor. So let's look at what these new capabilities are. The first four are we can create a new list. That's fairly self-explanatory. You can create any new list you would like, populate it with whatever values you want, and then assign it to a control. You can make a list filterable, which means you can have one drop-down list that will filter a second drop-down list. You can create a category list from the current list, which means the list that's going to be used for filtering is the category list. So if you have an existing list that you want to do that with, you can. And then lastly, if you want to just set a current list as a category list, you can do that. And we'll look at each of these examples. So let's start off with a couple of simple examples. Let's do a new list, and we will start off with a simple list. So we have three different list types. We have a simple list type, an associated value list type, and a description list type. Simple is just a single value. Will be shown. An associated value means you can use it for filtering, and then you have a description list, which is used to print the values in the list, but also a description of those values to help give the user some more context. So let's choose simple list to start with. And let's say we're going to do a new list. Okay, so it's a simple new list. And we're going to put the following values in it, AA, BB, CCC. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make this list filterable. So this is going to convert the list from a simple type list to an associated value list, which you can see here. And it's going to create a new category. Here we are going to add a list to this filter list, and it will be called new list filter. So let's go ahead and do that. And now you see we got these values. We're going to make these ones and this 2. So now let's go look at the new list filter. So we're going to say this is 2. So now when we choose filter 1, it should only show AA and BB. And when we choose filter 2, it'll populate only CCC in the list. Okay, so that's one way of creating new lists and new list filters. You might also already have a list that you want to use. Go ahead and create a new list. And in this case, I'm going to make it an associated value list. And I'm going to say this is called behavior. And maybe what we want to do is we want to call this non-cohesive. So that's 1. And cohesive is 2. So we've got a new list called behavior. We want to make that available to be as a category list. So we're going to set this current list as a category list because it's already an associated value list. If we had made a simple list, then we would have to do something like that, create the category list from a current list. So we've got behavior, and then let's go to our list consistency. Let's put in our associated values. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So we've got lots of 1s and 2s. So now what we need to do is on the form side of the configuration tool, let's change to that. I have already decided that I'm going to use CF3 and CF6 for specific purposes. With CF3, first thing we want to do, we want to change the control type from a text control. We can now change that. Any text field can be changed to a drop-down list, an appendable drop-down, or a drop-down. The drop-down list is, just as it says, a list of values will be shown. An appendable drop-down means the user can add to that list, which will remain on the tablet until they choose to clear those values in the preferences. The drop-down is the type of list where the user can just type in something else under an other option. So let's change that to a drop-down list because we don't need any of those other capabilities. And let's do the same thing here, make both of those drop-down lists. Okay, so CF3 and CF6 have now been made list values or list controls. So I can come in here. Let's make CF3 a new list, and we're going to use its category list will be the new list filter. And then we will do list soil consistency. And there we go. We're now going to filter the consistency based on the behavior. One other thing we want to do is we actually want to save the behavior value such that it can be used in our soil description that will ultimately be printed on our log. So we can save that category value into our category field column name. And in this case, I'm going to save it in CF7, custom field 7. So this will not use the standard pLog logic for determining cohesive versus non-cohesive soils, coarse-grained, fine-grained soils. Okay, so let's upload our configuration. That's uploaded successfully. And now let's sync our tablet and download that configuration. So now we'll go to stratigraphy, and let's see what this looks like. So here we have our first control, the CF3. It's called Filter 1, and Filter 1 is going to allow us to get the AA and BB, and Filter 2 is going to allow us to get CC. For this scenario, where we said it's non-cohesive or cohesive, I choose non-cohesive, and I get my coarse-grained options. I choose cohesive, and I get the options I set for an associated value of 2. These new capabilities allow users to even further tailor the pLog configuration to suit their specific data collection needs. And once again, data forensics is helping you make your data great again.